13 on NFL Primetime. Dan Marino sets the record, but Marshall Faulk had a different plan. Thurman Thomas and the first-place Bills take to the air, but Bledsoe and the Pats respond. The Niners knocked out the Rams early in Week 8. Now Elvis sits and Steve Young takes off the headset. Will the Jaguars be punished by Big Daddy and the Bengals? Schuler got the start against the Eagles, but ended up having a seat. Would Vinny get off the bench for Cleveland, and where would Cordell Stewart line up? Curtis Conway tries out a new position against the Giants, who tried to go for the extra yard, while Brett Favre will stay at quarterback, thank you, at the Bucs' expense. We're all friends. We're all family on ESPN's NFL Primetime. Mwah! Hello once again, everybody. Welcome to NFL Primetime and lucky week number 13. Always a bizarre one. That Sunday after Thanksgiving. Some interesting results, to say the least. To help us, as always, the croupiers, Tom Jackson, and the judge, Bill Pito. First, let's get you caught up on the late games around the NFL. There are 5 of them to tell you about. Houston, boy, at home, where do these points come from? The Oilers, soon to be the Tennessee Tuxedos, are shake, rattling, and rolling the Broncos 42-33. That game is under 5 minutes to go. We'll have highlights. The Jets and Seattle, is that a final? The Jets have gone to the Pacific Northwest and snapped the Seabags' 3-game winning streak, 16-10. Jets, Jets. Atlanta has scored with under 2 minutes to go. Jamal Anderson on a short blast. The Falcons have the ball, or rather the Cardinals have the ball in the desert with a last-gasp effort. Well, it's not last gasp. There's a lot of time left in that game. San Francisco rolling. Steve Young back looked pretty good. The defense again coming up big, 41-13. The Niners over the Rams. That's midway and a little bit farther through the fourth quarter. And Cleveland was awfully game in the dog pound, but Pittsburgh beat him again, a final. Pittsburgh 20 and Cleveland 17. Our Sunday night game features a team that's made some history already, and who knows what they can do in the last month of the season. Carolina Panthers are at the New Orleans Saints. Carolina, no expansion team had ever won more than 3 games. Carolina has already won 5, and they can even their mark at 6-6 if they can beat the New Orleans Saints. Joe Theismann, Mike Patrick, Mark Malone on the call for us tonight at the top of the hour. Let's get an update from Mark Malone. Mark?
All right, thanks, Chris. It's already been an historic year for the expansion Panthers. A win tonight would not only double the previous record wins by an expansion team, but it would tie the Carolina Panthers with the 66 Dolphins as the only expansion teams to have swept a divisional opponent. It's a part of history the Saints want no part of.
Well, it's not going to happen, so we don't have to worry about it. What we're worried about, what we had is we came out and lost all 4 division games to our rivals. We came back and we beat San Francisco and we beat the Rams. Now it's time to beat Carolina.
A month ago, Carolina blitzed and badgered Everett into throwing 4 interceptions as they seemed ready for everything that New Orleans threw at them. The reason, former Saint linebacker turned Panther, Sam Mills.
He knew exactly where the ball was going a lot of the time. He's a professional's professional. He knows a lot of stuff about what we try to do, and hopefully we can get him off his tendencies.
And Chris, look for the Saints to make some significant changes both in formation and in pass protection to try to neutralize Mills and control the blitzing Panthers.
All right, Mark, thank you. We'll look for the Saints and the Panthers, those intriguing Panthers, at the top of the hour. Sunday Night Football on ESPN. We have plenty to show you on NFL Primetime. Great rivalry, Beltway, Eagles, Skins. Who could run better? Could the Eagles keep it running to 8-4?
Is brought to you by officially licensed NFL apparel from Lee Sport, the brand for fans like you.
Welcome back to NFL Primetime. Good rivalry in the NFC East through the years. It's kind of seesawed. The Eagles and the Redskins just a couple of miles apart. Earlier this year, a wild game won in overtime by the Eagles, 37-34. Made it 6 in a row for Philadelphia over their rival. Well, the Philadelphia Eagles, why not? You stay with Rodney Peete. He's beaten everybody but Dallas, who he started against. The Skins, since they were 3-8, Norv Turner said time to go with Heath Schuler instead of Gus Frerotte. Of course, Frerotte is the favorite at RFK, despite the fact they love him. But, I mean, even he's only 4-11 as a starter, so Norv Turner said, let's see what we can do. Heath Schuler coming in, obviously a little rusty. Of course, the Eagles' defense has something to do with that. They can rush the passer. Talked about on a game day, William Thomas, second sack of the season. Oh, that Ricky Waters and Charlie Garner combined danger. 349 yards combined against Washington in October. This is Ricky running, Waters, letting him go 25 yards, Tom, and he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, you look at Guy McIntyre, the former Niner here, pull out and hit Darrell Green, clear a nice path for Waters downfield.
And then Waters goes right this time. He's to the flag, and he's in. Extra point no good. The Eagles lead at 6-0 at the half. Second half, 3rd and 12 for the Eagles. Rodney Peete, Ken Harvey with the pressure. He's hit as he throws. Darrell Pounds has the ball, but heaven forbid, he's pounded into the turf, and it's a fumble. And Fred Barnett calls, just like you diagram it, it's a ball.
Yeah, and Rodney Peete right there doing his best linebacker impression, knocking the ball out so Freddie Barnett could get it back for the Eagles.
I give Rodney the nod, although he was taken out after the next series by Ray Rhodes, and Randall Cunningham was in. Rusty. Then Heath Schuler shook off his rust and rallied the Skins. Schuler to Jamie Asher from
Louisville,
19 yards. Then Schuler to Terry Allen. What a season he had. At 90 yards rushing the ball, takes it for 13 yards. 2 plays later, beginning of the fourth quarter, Allen, touchdown, 7-6, Skins. So what do the Eagles do? Rodney Peete back in, Randall back to the sidelines. 2 series, both 3 and out for Randall. Peete, well, he shook off his rust to Fred's Barnett. One-handed catch and an 18-yard gain. Then Peete to Barnett. Watch the play he makes. He leaps, then just steps out of bounds, but it's a 31-yard gain. Then Ricky Waters, a 1-yard plunge, 2-point conversion makes it 14-7 Eagles. Waters, 6 TDs, his last 3 games. Can Schuler pull it out? 11 minutes to go. He's pressured. Shouldn't have thrown it. Yeah, you really shouldn't have thrown it. The youngster Bobby Taylor with the pick. And then Schuler looks deep, looking for Orlando Truitt. Orlando Truitt, not Cepeda. But Greg Jackson helps knock it down, and North, well, they lose it 14-7. Philadelphia Eagles 7-1, a game started by Rodney Peete, even though he was benched for a while by Ray Rhodes. Afterwards, both quarterbacks spoke about it.
I'm not happy with it. I think that we've been successful when I've played, and, you know, call it what you want. We won football games, you know, and yeah, I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed in the decision that was made. I didn't think I should come out of the game.
I got the best job in the NFL. You know, you can go in, but you only get 2 or 3 plays, and you get to come out. Hey, if that's my role, that's my role.
Well, after the game, Tommy, Ray Rhodes said Rodney was not as effective as we thought he could be. We decided to take him out for a couple series and just let him watch. It helped. It helped a lot. We could see that it did. But what also helped a lot is what you pointed out. Waters, 124 yards, Garner 50. They're tough.
Yeah, and let's say one thing, too, about Ray Rhodes, go back to the decision on the quarterback. I like the fact that he tries to convince these guys, if you are not playing well, I'll go to the next guy. Now on to the running backs. The thing that we noticed about the running backs today, Garner and Waters both tremendous north-south runners, very aggressive, getting down the football field. It results in important first downs for this ball club. You keep getting the mistake-proof play of a Rodney Peete. This is one of those ball clubs, and this is the one out of the NFC, other than the obvious teams that will get to the playoffs, you don't want to meet early on.
Yeah, here we are at the end of November, and Waters already has 1,000 yards to prove the point. You saw some of the blocking by McIntyre and company. When we continue on NFL Primetime, Bengals and Jags, what kind of show would this be at Jacksonville? And the Patriots and Bills. Would Bill have the Bills number again? Hey, AFC Central don't have a lot going for them this year, but they do have the lock on large felines.
Yeah,
like Jaguars, Bengals.
I'm allergic already.
Cat scratch fever.
Except for Pittsburgh, forget the division. Cincinnati quarterback Jeff Blake having a solid season. Wide receiver Carl Pickens, second in the NFL with 14 touchdowns. But there is no D in Cincinnati, and the Bengals have had no D. At their current pace, the Bengals will give up the second most yards in a single season in the history of the National Football League. To Jacksonville, Steve Berline the start. Mark Brunell out with a bad hammy. Jeff Blake and the Bengals strike first. Second quarter, Blake the scramble. He'll pick up 11 yards. Blake on the day, 7 carries, 46 yards. And that sets it up for Blake in slow motion on the quarterback draw. 8 yards and a touchdown at 7-0 in favor of Cincinnati. Back comes Berline of the Jags from the Bengals 31. Berline back to pass. Looking down the right sideline. Jimmy Smith has got it. Touchdown. 7-7 at the half. Berline pretty effective in that first half. Third quarter now, Bengals down 10-7. The kickoff return. Jeff Hill with a pretty good return. But hold on, flags fly, holding on Cincinnati. Ball now the Cincy 21, first play. Up, flags fly again. What do we got this time? What do we have? We have a false start. And Tommy, that was just the beginning.
Yeah, flags on the Bengals, a theme during the day. You see Blake here throw the ball. Harold Green takes a whack at Don Davey there. Very late personal foul. Bengals had 14 penalties for 98 yards. This the Shula not on the rules committee.
But the Bengals still in it. Down 3, about 3 minutes left. Kickoff following a Jags field goal. David Dunn with a nifty run. It rhymes. 48 yards. Hold everything, though. Another flag. Kevin Jefferson called for an illegal block. Jefferson and Shula are crabby. Since he pushed back to its 12, Blake starting to connect, finds Eric Bieniemy for 10. Then on a crucial 3rd and 15, 44 seconds to go. Blake incomplete for Darnay Scott, but guess what? Flag. Pass interference on Travis Davis. First down. That sets it up. 2nd and goal from the 5. 17 seconds to go. Touchdown. Blake to Carl Pickens, and then a fracas. A minor fracas, a late fracas, but a fracas nonetheless. David Shula says, hey, it helps when you cross your fingers. With that touchdown, Cincinnati goes on to win 17-13. For the 19th straight game, Blake throws a TD pass. Pickens now has at least 1 touchdown in 6 straight games. Verline for Jacksonville, 18 of 34, 245 yards. 22 penalties in the game, 14 by Cincy. But, Chris, for the 2nd straight week, tough loss for Jacksonville.
Yeah, tough loss, and they'll have more, but they're in the games. That's Cincinnati, David, holding that, the cross fingers.
Helps.
There he goes. There you go. Well, a lot of things have helped the Buffalo Bills this year. Experience and just playing solid football and being at home a lot will help. The Bills are 8-3 going into this game against the Patriots, and they, along with Kansas City, the only 2 teams undefeated at home going into Week 13. New England 4-7, a puzzling season for them, but Bill Parcells has always been a thorn in the side of the Buffalo Bills. You remember Super Bowl 25? Of course you do. Last year, they rolled the Bills late in the year to roll them out of the playoffs. Then earlier this year, on a Monday night, it was the Parcells and the Patriots over the Bills. Would the same thing happen? Well, Maurice Hurst out, Ty Law in, the #1 draft pick. Jim Kelly, well, he fought the law and the law won. He fought the law and the law won. With apologies to Bobby Fuller 4, there was the interception. Here's the Jim Kelly 6 to Billy Brooks. And Brooks has scored 10 of the last 14 Bills touchdowns. It's a 10-9 Patriots lead. And look, Law meet Coach Bill Parcells. He fought the law, and the law didn't win in that situation. Then, first at 12-10 Buffalo, driving at the end of the half on 4th and 5. It's picked off by Cornelius Bennett. And he could go all the way. Biscuit, 69 yards, 19-10 Buffalo.
Yeah, we'll take another look at it here. You see a bad throw by Bledsoe into the middle of the field. Meggett coming across. You see spot shadow of Cornelius Bennett. Bledsoe never sees him, but look at the grab by Cornelius. Ball thrown behind him, grabs it with his hands, takes off down the field.
And he gets the big block from Jim Jeffcoat, playing in game number 200. 3rd and goal, Thurman Thomas stop. Marv Levy says, well, Bill Parcells has his page on 4th and goal. We go. And Thomas into the end zone, 25-13 Buffalo. So you figure they hold serve at home on a record-breaking day for Thermal. The Patriots all of a sudden get moving. And it's Curtis Martin that leads the way. Martin, 18 yards of his 148. He's had a 1,000-yard season. First play of the 4th quarter. Bledsoe to Ben, amazing. To Ben, well, we up into winter coats. But look what's on the field here. The Bills said they were distracted by the police getting rid of a fan. But it counts, and it's 25-20. Then Bledsoe to Coates again. Their 3rd connection to the 28-25 Pats after a 2-point conversion. Parcells says, yes, sir. Then time for a Bills comeback. Kelly's been so good this year, but not this time. Willie McGinnis with the hit. Chris Slade. Mama, we're all crazy now. He's the man who had the quote of the year, said we're a Heckle and Jekyll team. Today they were Heckle. 21 points in the 4th quarter by the New England Patriots. Are they still alive for some sort of playoff run? They got so hot late last year. Well, the Bills still in control in their division, but they fall to 8-4 as New England wins it by the count of 35-25. And Tommy, New England came back in this game from really nowhere. I mean, they really very grinding-like game for Curtis Martin. Didn't have a lot of 40, 50-yard runs, a lot of 11, 12, 13-yard runs. He's done them in twice this year.
Well, you mentioned the fact early on it's been a puzzling season for the Patriots. I think this is a puzzling game as people look. You have a hard time figuring exactly how the Pats win. But I think when you look at that grounded-out style of offense that Bill Parcells likes to run, it's an easy stat to remember. When Curtis Martin runs for 100 yards, the Patriots win. And you had two styles today that complement the other offense. That quick, hurry-up, score potential of the Buffalo Bills out of the K-gun really contributes to the fact that when Parcells can hold on to the football and ground it out, it plays right into his hands in a close football game.
You know, we watch the Bills closely, and I've seen even games they've won. Fourth quarter a lot this year, and you've seen it two times. The defense looks tired. And that was certainly the case today. That was obvious. Even in some games they won fourth quarter, they seem to be wearing down. 8-4, they're still in charge in their division. Remember, they swept the Colts, but they'd like to get that second slot. Right. And here comes Pittsburgh, and this might hurt them down the line if they can get winning again. So keep that in mind later on when we see who's the second seed, who's the third seed in the AFC. I know I'm way out with that. Inside of the numbers, well, the last three times that Mr. Parcells, Bill, has played the Buffalo Bills, they run the football, they control the ball, and they win the game. 173 yards rushing today, most of them on the feet of Curtis Martin. When we return, you've seen this before, Reggie White with a sack in the Baywatch game, and Giants trying to leap over the Bears. At 6-6, Collins and the Panthers at New Orleans, Sunday Night Football, right after NFL Primetime at the top of the hour. And we'd like to welcome those of you that have watched the Houston Oilers beat the Denver Broncos 42-33. We'll have highlights later. The one game still going with a little over 3 minutes to go. It's Atlanta leading at Arizona 37-30, but it looks like Arizona has the football inside the 10-yard line, so we'll keep you posted. Also like to welcome those of you that have watched San Francisco dissect the Rams for the second time this year, 41-13. One of the most storied rivalries in all the NFL, even though they've never been in the same division, the Chicago Bears and the New York Football Giants. 8 times they've met in the playoffs, 6 times to settle the NFL championship, including the first 2 ever in the NFL championship games, 1933 and 1934. With all this history, Yankee Stadium games and Polo Grounds, etc., it's only the 3rd time that the Bears have ventured to play the Giants at the Meadowlands. So here we go. Kind of historic, although that's been a historic season for Dan Reeves and the Giants. Down 7-0. What do you do? Oh, those tricky G-men. They flea flicker Hampton back to Dave Brown, to the youngster Thomas Lewis. Second straight good game for him at 38 yards. Then Brown. See those ex-Broncos paying off, Tom. Off the Marshall. Touchdown, tied at 7. Well, maybe not all the ex-Broncos paying off. Mike Horan.
One of the better directional kickers in the league. A bit of a sharp angle there.
Yeah, left at 15 yards. And so with field position, Eric Kramer looking for Jeff Graham. What a catch by Graham! One of the best catches all year, Tom.
Yeah, Jeff Graham with the right hand never puts the left hand on the football, and then concentration enough to get both feet down for the touchdown.
And we're tied at 14, and in the process, Graham becomes the first Bears receiver to go over 1,000 yards since Dick Gordon back in 1970. Then Kramer versus Kramer. Nobody there, but he just fumbles the football in the 3rd quarter. Ray Agnew in the silent majority falls on the football for the Giants. So Brown says we can get the lead. Dave Brown looks for the fade to Thomas Lewis. It's incomplete. What happened, Tom?
Well, you can see the reason that Lewis is upset here. Jeremy Lincoln right there is going to get underneath and look at him pull the right arm right through. So Lewis has no chance to make the catch.
Giants and Reeves have to settle for a field goal and a 3-point lead. Now the Bears have tied it at 17-all, then play action. Kramer rolls right. Look at this pretty play. To Michael Timpson, touchdown, 24-17 Chicago with 11 minutes to go in the game. But the Giants say, wait a minute, we can come back, and they drive down the field. Rodney Hampton just quietly continues to be a fine pro, tied at 24. Dave Watson says, can't we stop anybody? Late in the 4th. Brown to Charles Way. No way, you say? No, he's to the 40-yard line. Dom DeLuiso. Brad DeLuiso would like to kick a field goal. He can kick it long, but Dan Reeves says that at 4th and 3 and the 32, what would have been a 49-yard field goal attempt, we don't do it. We try, and Dave Brown is incomplete, and so Chicago takes over on downs, and the jacket goes back on. Meanwhile, Kevin Butler warms up for Chicago. While his quarterback, Eric Kramer, 2 big passes to Curtis Conway. This one for 12 yards, and then from a 37 yards out, Butler does it. So Chicago kicks the field goal. The Giants do not. And an entertaining game. The Bears had over 400 yards of total offense. The Giants had about 340. It's the Bears 27 and the Giants 24. And the Bears snap a 3-game losing streak. And you just have to wonder why the Giants didn't go for the field goal. Reeves said it was in the wind. But 49 yards, that's what you got DeLuisa for with a minute to go. And the Giants lose another one, fall to 3-9 when we return. Plenty. Oh, we got plenty. Do we have a record in the NFL? Yes, we do. But would Dan Marino be happy in the game in which it was set? Brett Favre and the Pack keep rolling.
The family of the future.
Oscar McBride has tied the game. The kick is good. And 37-37, the Falcons and the Cards with just under 2 minutes to go in the desert. We shall keep you posted. Well, one of our late, great friends, Pete Axthelm, his favorite games was the Bay of Pigs, Green and Tampa. The Green Bay Packers, the Tampa Bay Bucks. But with the Pack 7-4 and Tampa Bay 6-5, we're going to upgrade it to Baywatch. But one thing you got to know, Tampa Bay has never won a game in which the temperature at the field at kickoff was under 42 degrees. How do you think the conditions were late November on the frozen tundra of Lambeau Field? Yeah, there it is. A little snow in the morning. I mean, it wasn't that bad, but wind chill was 24, but the Pack play in this weather all the time. Brett Favre to Robert Brooks, 18 yards. Then first and goal from the 9. Favre to Mark Ingram. Touchdown, just like that. 7-0. Pack. Eric Rett. First and goal from the 4. Stopped at the 1. Eric Rett on second and goal from the 1.
Stopped at the 1.
Eric Rett on third and goal from the 1.
Stopped at the 1.
Eric Rett, 13 carries, -1 yards. So the Bucs settle for a field goal, but they do have a 10-7 lead. Here come the Packers. Favre. Robert Brooks. Look at him go. He could go all the way into the stands. Oh, they love the Pack. Brooks, where is he? Is he safe? Of course he's safe, and the Pack lead at 14-10. Then Reggie Roby, looking at his watch, uncorks a 19-yard punt. And the Pack have a great field position at the Tampa Bay 36. Favre makes him pay to Edgar Allan Poe. Bennett with the leaping grab, 31 yards. Tom, it was beautiful.
Yeah, great job of concentration, the athleticism, and then the desire to jump, go out, and get the football, knowing that you might take a lick here. He gets under it. Great concentration, great catch by Bennett.
And then with the score 21-13, Roby again. This going the other way. It's a line drive. Antonio Freeman fields it, and immediately the Pack are in Tampa Bay territory. Roby, who has, such a good career and everything, had a bad day. All 3 of his bad punts resulted in Packer points. Like this one, Favre to Bennett, way down to the 2-yard line. He beats Kenneth Gant, and it resulted in a touchdown, 28-13. Bad news for the Bucs. Hardy Har Nickerson retaliates a push by Frank Winters, aptly named when you play for Green Bay, with a slap to the head. Favre again rolls right, 3rd and 2 from the 3. Oh, what a beautiful pass to Robert Brooks. He's running a cross pattern town. It wasn't enough to get him in the stand.
Yeah, and Favre has not only mastered the impromptu read, but the ability to get the ball off quickly over the defense with a pinpoint pass, as we see there.
Oh, that's as pretty as it comes. And Brett Favre and the Pack, they're in control of this division. They have to mark to 8-4. Yes, on paper, the Bears stay one behind, but remember, they swept the Bears. So they essentially have a 2-game lead over Chicago. And with everybody else 6-6, the Pack essentially with a 2-game lead in the entire division. So Green Bay, now, Tommy, in great position, as we kind of thought that they would be this season.
That's all we need to say about the Green Bay Packers.
Right.
They're a good, solid football team. They'll be around at the end. Now to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Looking very Buck-like lately. We've got the drop passes, the inefficiency in the red zone, no TD passes by the quarterback, ineffective defense. I've already forgotten, Chris, that first 7-game stretch where they went 5-2. That's a long time ago.
Well, 6-6 at this stage of the year is good for them, but they don't look good in that orange ski wear. That's the problem. Send out to
The 4 shots left.
Well, they have 4 shots left to try and not lose 10 or more games. I know that's harsh, but well, maybe they'll play some games warmer than 42 degrees. As we go inside the numbers, Brett Favre today had 3 touchdown passes, as he did in both games last year against the Bucs. Bucs quarterbacks all year have 3 touchdown passes. Guess who's in first place in the division? Guess who's not? When we return, plenty. Oh, it doesn't get any better than the Jets and the Bags. Aaron Glenn scrambling. Could the Jets pull off a Pacific Northwest shocker? And oh, by the way, could the Colts keep it rolling against the Dolphins?
Hi, Tom Bodett.
They put on some great performance on ESPN on Sunday Night Football, and they put up another one against the Panthers at 8 Eastern, 7 in the Bayou. Welcome back to NFL Primetime. Well, first things first. History in the making at the RCA Dome as Dan Marino went into the game tied with Fran Tarkenton for the mark that means the most to Dan, the all-time record for touchdown passes. Each Tarkenton and Marino went into the day at 342, and I don't think the odds were good that Fran was going to throw one today. However, another record that Marino and the Dolphins were not that thrilled with. 6-5 after a 4-0 start. The Colts had the same record, but Marino warming up. Would this be history? Mark Clayton, Mark Duper, Nat Moore, three of the more prolific 34 guys that Marino was throwing touchdown passes to. But the guy that's been prolific against the Dolphins is Jim Harbaugh. To Roosevelt, pops, 18 yards. Then Tom Olivedotti's defense, more trouble.
Yeah, you see Floyd Turner make the catch in the middle of the zone. Gene Atkins with the bad tackling. But watch Brian Cox, always dependable, stay after it, and finally get him on the ground for a 23-yard gain.
That'll lead to Harbaugh, 6-yard pass. Yes, he's in. Sean Dawkins, 7-0. C-O-L-T-S, Colts, Colts, Colts. Same score in the first quarter. Marino hit by Tony Bennett. He left the ball at Indianapolis. Quentin Coriat recovers for the Colts, and they're in business. Harbaugh said, and Marino said, I was throwing. The ref said no. Harbaugh says, no, I'm throwing to Aaron Bailey. He dives, 14-0 Colts. Last 6 drives against Miami. Harbaugh almost perfect. 17-0 Colts in the second quarter. Then what?
Yeah, you see Aaron Bailey on the reverse, and the Miami defense guilty of over pursuit right here. Right there, you see the Dolphins surround him, but they don't have the angle. Bailey with a nice cutback. 34-yard game out on the Miami 17.
And then Harbaugh to Marshall Faulk. Last 8 possessions for the Colts against Miami, including a second half of another game. 6 touchdowns and only 2 field goals. But who would get Marino's big ball?
So Dan, listen to me. I'm open on this play. As soon as the snap of the ball, look for 41 because he's there, all right? So let's go in the record book together.
Byers wants it, Fryer wants it, Green wants it, Kirby wants it. Who got it? Byers shakes Eugene Daniel. History. Even though it came down 24-0. Byers from Marino. Dan says we'd like to win it, but a hug for Clayton, a hug for Duper, a hug for Byers. Congratulations to Dan Marino, who put this thing so high that nobody may catch it for a long time. Dan went back to work. Marino to O.J. McDuffie, 17 yards. Marino to O.J. McDuffie beats Daniel. 2-point conversion good at 24-14. Marcia Broda says, whoa, we know we can do it. But look at this. Tony Bennett sacks him in the end zone. It's a safety, and it's 26-14. Dan was just standing there, Tom. And then Marino to Irving Fryer. He's trying to come back all by himself, but it's a 29-20 game after a 2-point conversion fails. Tom Olivedotti trying to get his defense going, but they never did.
Yeah, they never did get going. You watch them there, they had some confusion. This was after a timeout. They were forced to call another timeout. You see Shula upset.
And then the Colts wrap it up with Marshall Faulk up the middle. Look, and where's the tackling? Faulk, 40 yards, leads to another touchdown. Even though Marino would throw 4 touchdown passes on the day, it was Miami's defense which had another head shaker. The Colts are 7-5, 1 game behind the Bills as far as record goes in the AFC East. 36-28, their first sweep of the Dolphins since 1988. All right, in a losing cause, Dan is 0 for 3 when he breaks records of Tarkenton and winning games. But he did speak afterwards about the mark.
We feel like we have the talent. We feel like we're capable of winning, but we're not winning games. So it kind of takes away from the fact that, you know, you do set records, and in every game I've set a record we've lost so far.
Well, I know how Dan feels. First of all, congratulations to him because, and 4 more, you said he would get close to set, right? But Indianapolis, Tom, they're a force all of a sudden, don't you think?
Well, I think when we look at this ball club, they have an outstanding running back in Marshall Faulk, getting good quarterbacking from Jim Harbaugh. Defensively, they have a very active front 7 that I think is going to offer people a lot of problems when and if they get to the playoffs. So this is the AFC version of the Eagles, a team that you would not want to play early on in the playoffs other than the obvious teams that are going to get in. But when you look at the Dolphins, this is the time of year that Olivedotti's defense has started to falter. And I think we saw all the things that I talked about this morning. The lack of consistent pressure on the quarterback, the bad tackling, the inability to contain a mobile quarterback. I think all of those things contribute. But let's say this. Olivedotti, you could even see it in the highlight package. He can put people in position. He's a coach. He can't get out there and make the plays for him.
Maybe he needs Joe Green out there at defensive tackle. Well, 34, 44, 36 points. The last 3 games given up by Miami. Interesting measurements, not if you're looking up at the scoreboard. This is interesting, too. This is the evolution of the touchdown record, the touchdown pass record. Sammy Baugh had it at 67 when he retired at 1943. Bobby Lane in 1962 when he retired had it at 188. Then Wyatt Tittle the next year passed Lane at 197. Johnny U in 1966 upped it to 213. That stood till Tarkenton 9 years later, 291. That stood 20 years until Dan Marino now, well, it's 346 and counting. So we'll see where it goes. It could get close to 400. Congratulations, Dan. Well, I know you're not happy with the way the game ended. When we return, Pittsburgh Steelers going to Cleveland to play the Browns for perhaps the last time. And a wild one in the desert, it's still going. Falcons, Cards, they're flying. And the Niners at it again against the Rams. They could never beat Seattle. Now, Seattle's not bad. The Jets are not good. So what does that mean?
Well, who knows this year in the NFL, but Seattle's been playing really well. The Seahawks, in fact, trying to make it 4 wins in a row for the first time since 1986. Rookie receiver Joey Galloway has 5 touchdowns in his last 3 games, and the Jets coming in having lost 7 in a row. To the Kingdome, Dennis Erickson trying to lead the Seahawks to a 6-6 record. Seahawks' first possession of the game. Fumble picked up by Lonnie Young of the Jets. New York takes advantage. At the Seahawks 2, Adrian Morrell, 2 yards and a touchdown. Jets up 7-zip. Seahawks' second possession now. Rick Meyer, back to pass, will be picked off by Aaron Glenn. Meyer, his 19th INT of the year. That leads the National Football League. Jets, though, couldn't convert. Seahawks' third possession, third turnover. Warren loses it. Glenn, this time with a fumble recovery. Watch this. Where's he going to go? He's going to come this way. He's going to go that way. Where's he going to go? This way. He's going north. You got to go north. Aaron, you got to go north. North. He's lost. He's east. He's west. Aaron, what do you have? Still, though, the Jets couldn't convert. 7-0 Jets after 1. Glenn finally picks up some yardage, but the Jets couldn't convert. Tommy, how about Rick Meyer now?
Billy, we take a look at a couple of plays that typify his day. We're going to see Joey Galloway wide open right there, overthrown by 5 yards. Next thing, same play, other side of the football field, overthrown.
As you see, Meyer not so good in the first half. Third quarter, Jets up 13-0. Meyer trying to lead the Seahawks back. Max Strong, 6 yards and a touchdown. So the Seahawks are down 13-7. Late third quarter, Seahawks with a chance. Meyer trying to find Galloway. Oh, just a little bit too long. Meyer says, oh, we could have had that. Late fourth quarter, Seahawks down 16-10, 4th and 3 for Seattle. Rolling, incomplete. Meyer says, oh, we should have had this game. Dennis Erickson says, we can't lose games like this. Jets win at 16-10. Jets snapped that 7-game losing skid. Morrell for the Jets, 24 carries, 116 yards. First 100-yard rushing day for a Jet this year. Warren, 16 carries, only 63 yards. Only the 4th time in his last 10 games he's been held under 100 yards. And Chris, for the Jets, their first win on the road since November 20th, 1994. If you check your watch, that's over a year ago.
Well, but they've won 1 in a row on the road. They're on their way. All right, well, a team that's a little better on the road than just about anybody, the San Francisco 49ers, came home to play the St. Louis Rams. A lot of things working here. After his 5-game absence, Steve Young back less than 2 weeks after arthroscopic surgery to repair his throwing shoulder. And you do remember that the last time they played, some talking before, the Niners won at 44-10, and some trash talking after between the Rams and the Niners. Of course, Ken Norton had 2 interception returns for a touchdown in the earlier game, pummeling and then a pummeling of words.
I said it before the game, I just couldn't say it publicly. Same Niners, same Rams. Period.
I said, what the hell?
Well, a lot of words going on. And how would Steve Young look? Lots working here at Candlestick Park. And the Rams have lost 10 straight. 9 is L.A., 1 is St. Louis, 2 San Francisco. But they actually played better against the Niners in San Francisco. Young's first pass, a little rusty. Yeah, it floats at a beautiful play by Anthony Parker, although no damage is done. Still the first quarter, Young backed up in his own end zone to Jerry Rice, but it's a fumble. Keith Lyle forced it. Shane Conlon falls on it for the Rams. George Seifert said, wait a minute. We're at home again. Don't tell me this is going to happen again. From the Niners, 2, Chris Miller to Todd Kinchin, and look at this. Boom, and then it's a kick, and then a right, and a left, and the goalpost is going down, Tom.
He's not going to get up.
Going down, Tom. It's a standing 8 for the goalpost. Meanwhile, back to normalcy, i.e. Jerry Rice, a catch. Oh, by the way, he and Art Monk are now the only 2 ever to catch over 900 passes. Congratulations, Jerry. 5 plays later from the 16, Young to J.J. Stokes. You saw Monday night. Look at the moves of this large fella. Once, twice, 3 times into the end zone. We're tying at 7.
Yeah, we're going to take a look at the latest emerging star for the Niners here. J.J. Stokes in the crowd. 2 men on his left. You're going to see 3 men on his right. Another 5 or so waiting before he can get to the goal line. And then look at him make the cuts, makes the nice slicing moves, waits for the defense to over-pursue, gets to the opposite corner of the end zone.
Chris Miller. Then the Niner defense gets in. Dana Stubblefield nails him. And William Floyd looking on from the sideline saying, what about my O? Well, youngsters like William Floyd and J.J. Stokes, his second touchdown of the day. 14-7 Niners. It's an 18-yard pass from Steve Young. Rich Brooks says, boy, we had a 4-0 start. What's going on? Well, this is what's going on. Tim McDonald has the ball. E-I-E-I-O. To the 20-yard line here, and a cut at the 22, and a move at the 20. He's up to the 15. Everywhere a football, down to the 2. He's almost in. The Niners are in business. Derek LaVille runs it in. A lot of singing, I'm sorry. 21-7. I'm just frustrated. It's the holidays. You know, I gotta get that going. Chris Miller picked off by Eric Davis, and he could go all the way. He evades Todd Kinchin. 86 yards for Eric Davis. The Niners defense, and boom, a left to the face and a right to the jaw, and oh, it's that goalpost. The goalpost, I think, will be out 2 weeks. Now, Young to Jerry Rice. This is just a 2-yard, and no pummeling of the goalpost, but a pummeling of the Rams. 44-10, now 41-13. Well, let's see. 36 points at Dallas, 44 at Miami. The Niners have 41 today. This constitutes being on their annual November roll. 41-13 over the Rams, the Niners, next Sunday night on ESPN in the implode game against the Buffalo Bills. The Steelers and the Browns. Larry Curly and Mo Dell, the 3 Stooges. Well, hey, the Browns fans, you're the greatest. Maybe something could be worked out, but would this be the last time that the Cleveland Browns would host the Pittsburgh Steelers? Vinny Testaverde tried to come back. Remember, he lost 3 times to Pittsburgh last year. He got the start today. Willie Williams with the interception. His 4th of the year leads to a field goal, 3-0. Bill Belichick and the Browns not so Natalie clad these days. Leroy Horde fumbles the football. Willie Williams falls on it for Pittsburgh. He's everywhere.
Yeah, you see the great stick here by number 40, Myron Bell. Jars the ball loose right there. Williams makes the nice recovery.
And Neil O'Donnell, who has been hot, back to pass. You've heard a lot about rookie Cordell Stewart. For the first pick, tight end rookie Mark Bruner, 12 yards, 10-0 Steelers. And you can see the difference in the team's fortunes. O'Donnell with a 10-3 lead. And now it's Cordell Stewart at quarterback. The pitch to Bruner. You'll be seeing this combination eventually. Same drive, O'Donnell back in. Oh, 37 yards. Just needed a breather to Yancey Thigpen inside the 5. 2 plays later, it's bam, Morris, 1 yard, 17-3 Steelers in a laugher. But with everything going on, the Cleveland Browns dug deep. Testaverde to Michael Jackson, 11 yards at 17-10, Tom, and Jackson knows the turf.
Yeah, you see the grass is a little bit damp here. It's wet. Jackson slips, but Randy Fuller does worse than slip. He fell down.
That was the Randy Fuller 4. And it's 17-10 at the half Steelers. Testaverde to Brian Kinchin, 16 yards. 3rd and 6, Testaverde to... Well, we're a little off today, but Jackson makes the catch inside the 10. Testaverde to Andre Rison. What is it? It's a flag. Willie Williams, he's everywhere. But this time gets the flag, sets up 2nd and goal. And that vaunted running game of Vincenzo himself. He's in. And the Browns have the Steelers at 17. One last time in front of the home folks to try and get rid of their hated rivals. Only the 3rd rushing touchdown of the season for Cleveland. It's bad when Vinny is one of them. Now O'Donnell. Oh, to Cordell Stewart. Slash quarterback, slash wide receiver, slash return man, slash water boy. And it sets up a field goal, 20-17 Steelers. O'Donnell, one of the Mills brothers. Ernie makes the catch, 26 yards. Steelers converting 3rd downs on the drive. Bam, Morris plows ahead. And the Browns never got the ball back. They were game. Their fans were game. But the Steelers, 16 plays, 8:52 to end the game, culminating deep in Cleveland territory. A good try by Cleveland, but Pittsburgh just the better ball club and a team on the roll at 8-4. They win it by the count of 20-17. When we return, we've got the Broncos and the Oilers to tell you about. The Oilers are a team on the move, but they're not daunted. And we'll give you what happened in the Cards and Falcons game.
I cannot believe we're going to this game.
Primetime Players is brought to you by 1-800-COLLECT, the way everyone can save on collect calls. It's easy. Just dial 1-800-COLLECT from any phone and save.
Time for our Primetime Players. Mine is New England tight end Ben Coates. Coming alive, he gets a game ball, 6 catches for 60 yards and 3 touchdowns as New England beats Buffalo.
Billy, my primetime player, gets the game balls. Robert Brooks, you look at the 6 receptions, the 2 TDs, 114 yards, and maybe the best thing he does is get up in the stands.
In my prime time, yes, and a great job in the stands. Hey, they lost, but Denver, this is a perpetual game ball. He started in 83, he's playing in 95, and his 4 touchdowns give him 346 passing for Antarctica. Dan Marino, game ball. We got 2 highlights left to show you, so stick around.
Our truck has broken.
We're tied at 6. Cardinals with the football. Dave Craig back to pass, and it's picked off by Jesse Tuggle. Run, Jesse, run, Jesse, run, Jesse, run, Jesse, run, Jesse. Touchdown, 13-6 Falcons, and a developing shootout. Falcons ball. George hits Rowell Preston from MISSISSIPPI. That's Mississippi. He gets up, and look at him go. 61-yard play for the touchdown. Falcons up 26. Tommy, how in the world did they not get him down?
Well, Preston, a great job of making the catch in traffic, and then look at him stay up. When you looked at it at full speed, it looked like his knee hit the ground there. You see it didn't, and he's off to the races.
Cards answer, though. Craig, 18 yards, Rob Moore, and another score. Cards down 20-13. Then 35 seconds left in the half. We keep on going. Craig, back to pass. 28 yards, Anthony Edwards. Rolled and in touchdown. We're tied at 20. Cards 20 points. Most points in the first half this season. Third quarter, Falcons' first play of the second half. We got much more where all this came from. George hits Terrence Mathis, and he's going to go 45 yards for the touchdown. Lost the ball. Counted anyway. Falcons up 27-20. End of the third. Cards respond. Remember, it's a developing shootout. Craig, play fake. Wendell Gaines, 22 yards and another touchdown. We're tied at 27 all. Capping off a 99-yard drive. Last play of the third quarter. Eric Hill, who had 27 tackles last week, drops George. Clyde Simmons recovers. Simmons was ruled down. Cards settle for a field goal. They're up 30-27. Buckle your seatbelts. Fourth quarter. Falcons ball from the 4. Jamal Anderson. Who? Jamal Anderson. Touchdown. Falcons up 34-30. They would add a field goal. So the Cards are down 7. We got 2 minutes remaining. From the 2, Craig to a wide open Oscar McBride. Who? Oscar McBride. We're tied at 37 all. Falcons going for the win. Under 2 minutes left. George looking, and it's picked off by Seth Joyner. He's fired up. Cards ball at the 45-yard line. Greg Davis a chance to win. 45 yards out for the win. No good. No good. So we go into overtime. Joyner can't believe it. In the OT, Falcons punting. Straczynski, oh, dicey, dicey, dicey. Cards recover inside the 10. They waste no time. Buddy Ryan says, let's get this thing over. Greg Davis from 28 yards out for the win. It is up. It is good, and it is finally over. The Cards win a wild one, 40-37. The 20th overtime game this year in the NFL. That's the most in one season in NFL history. Craig, 413 yards, now 8th all-time. 4 touchdown passes, now 7th all-time. Arizona, 96 total yards, Chris, last week. 40 points this week, only in the National Football League.
And the Falcons fall out of a first-place tie with the Niners in the NFC West. You like that game? Hey, same thing at Houston. Between the Tennessee Tuxedos and the Denver Broncos. Bud Adams, he still goes to the games. And so does some of the fans, and so does the youngster, the rookie, Rodney Thomas. And I'll tell you, he don't get no respect, but he will now. It's 74 yards. He's down at the, oh, give him the touchdown, which they do. Mike Shannon says, well, what? He was down at the 1, but no, they give him the touchdown. The longest run from scrimmage for the Oilers in 12 years. And it's 7-3 Boilers. 7-3 still John Elway to Anthony Miller. Good defense. What? 50 yards, 10-7, Bronx.
Chuck Cecil bit on that play a little bit.
Just a little bit. I think he had an overbite. 10-7 Broncos. Chris Chandler. Oh, the youngster, Chris Sanders. 36 yards. Tom 14-10 Houston.
Chandler covered by Lionel Washington, who just doesn't get over to make a play. He's got to get through his body or get behind him and make a play on the football.
Now Houston leads 21-10, but you saw one rookie running back. Here's another. Terrell Davis. Look at him go. 60 yards. Outrunning Chuck Cecil and the Broncos within 21-17. But Chris Duke of Earl Chandler deep to Sanders. Oh, and a lethal combination. 28-17, the Tuxedos.
Sanders, Washington matched up again, and you see this is just a 50, 40-yard sprint. that Washington's not going to win.
So 6 plays for touchdowns in the first half, 5 of them over 35 yards. Jeff Fisher's a defensive coach who says, hey, I got an offense today, and Chandler keeps it going to Todd Barber McNair. Mission impossible, a great one in the catch, keeps the drive alive. Then setting up Chandler to Haywood Jeffries, 13 yards, 35-17. The Oilers, or the Tuxedos, whatever they are, they were too good today for John Elway and company, although he's Mr. Fourth Quarter comeback with 5 minutes to go. Elway to Anthony Miller. Touchdown, now they're within 9, 42-33. Shula did this too today, Tommy. Shanahan decides to go for 2 rather than kick and be down by 8 and still be in the game. Problem, if you don't make it, you're down 9, you need 2 scores, and you've taken your club out of there. I don't get it.
Done. You're done if you don't make that.
So even though John Elway passed Joe Montana to 5th all-time on the passing list, it's the Oilers and Chris Chandler's 3 touchdowns that beat the Broncos 42-33. Yet another team at home, not expected to win, came through. What a wild week 13 as we go inside the numbers. Not a lot of 100-yard rushers. Actually, there were. I lied. We'll get it straight. Curtis Martin, well, he had 100 yards, so the Patriots won. Ricky Running Waters to the 1,000-yard mark himself, as is Martin. Adrian Morrell had a 100-yard game as the Jets won. Davis, he's 1,000 yards, but they are close. He's close. He's 3 yards shy, but they lost. Rodney Thomas at 100. Blaney Pomaly did. Dave Craig, 413. Elway, 332. Dilfer, 324. That's your honor roll for passers. Next week, and for the last 4 weeks of the regular season, 11:30 sharp. Just buy new shirts. And game day starts for 90 minutes at 11:30 a.m. Eastern, 8:30 on the West Coast, 6:30.